All right, it's live?
Yep, I
All
think so.
right. All right, everybody. Hey, looks like we're live right now. Let us introduce ourselves. I am Brandon, this is Sarah, and together we are the Harmonious Duo. Why did we bring everybody here today? I think the big reason why we called everybody here today and invited everybody here was to share and answer a lot of questions that get asked to us. One big part of it is a detailed overview of everything that we really went over and learned in Orlando and how and why we believe it's going to be really impactful for you to take what we're going to teach you and tell you right now and apply it into your business and really start seeing results really, really, really fast.
Yeah, because we preface this outline as Fight the Forces of Evil 2014, what really happened in Orlando. And originally, this overview of what we're going to discuss today was, we had first made the decision to make this purely for our team, for our current team, and we were just going to discuss things for specific team members who were unable to attend the event with us. But we decided at the last minute that we were going to open this up to the public because we realized really how important all of what we learned over this last weekend was, everything that we've experienced, all the breakthroughs and the shifts and just the techniques and strategies that were given to us during this weekend in Orlando. So we decided that we were going to open it up to the public, share it with everybody in hopes that it inspires more of you out there to make the decision that maybe it's your time to do something a little bit different for yourselves. And perhaps this is the opportunity that you've been waiting for. So
yeah, and all those folks who stick it all the way to the end of this hangout and make sure that you get all the proper information necessary. We're going to offer you a chance to basically get a first hand from the horse's mouth the true success model that our company owner really uses, that he used to build the empire that we are a part of right now, and how he's used that same business model in every single opportunity he's been involved with.
Yeah.
That's really key. That's really key. We want you to stay to the end so you can get that information. Only those who get to the end will be able to get that information or the opportunity to get that information. So.
Yeah, the one thing that I will say to, I don't know, I guess kind of entice you a little bit is this is the man, the business model that we're going to share with you for those who stay tuned all the way through the end. This is the same business model who took our company owner who was living, well, homeless, but in a van in Hawaii with no money to his name. I think there was one point where he said he was eating canned beans straight from the can cold because he didn't have a way to heat up. That was his food, and he didn't even have a way to heat that up. He went from living in his van to using this business model that we're going to share with you guys afterward, towards the end, to take him from living in a van with absolutely nothing to his name to being a successful, what is he, like a multi-million earner in this company.
Correct. And
you're going to want to stay tuned. It's crazy. When he shared this with us over this weekend, because that was one of the things we learned, Brandon and I just blew our mind because it's so simple, but it's so incredibly powerful and effective. And, we can prove that based on the earnings and the momentum that our company and opportunity is gaining based off using this business model.
That's right. And for those of you who don't know, like we mentioned, we wanted to make this just a specific team hangout. So those of you who are watching this, who don't really know a lot about us or haven't seen our presence online yet or aren't aware of us, allow us to just share a little bit about our story. Me personally, I started really in business entrepreneurship around the age of 16. That's when I got out of my house and really took life into my own hands and said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do this thing full force. The only thing was that I was very misinformed on how to attain the success that I always saw myself going after. Even as a young kid, I always had big dreams, high hopes on where I wanted to end up. But yet when I moved out at 16, I had no place to start. I didn't know where to begin. And I was filled with this delusion that you had to work harder, not smarter. And so when you build a foundation on sand like that, it doesn't take much to knock it over. It just took me a little bit of direction to find the right wind sail to be able to have the pressure to do that, because it took me until I was about 25 before I could really start getting into the personal development and the self-development that I needed to change the shift of my sail, as Jim Rohn would say, because we all incur the same kind of hardship. So I'm not going to go into detail about all of the things that I've went through, but I've tried to start up many businesses that just failed flat on their face. And I've always been accustomed to working the two jobs. I was always the kind of guy that had a little bit of a higher standard than others. So the one job thing never cut it for me. I always had to have two. But then that got me thinking, well, am I going to be it was always in the restaurant industry too. So anybody out there who's bussing, serving, expediting, any kind of thing like that, bartending, you guys know that it's a tough lifestyle. And personally,
especially if you have two of them.
Yeah. And personally for myself, I couldn't see myself really doing that at the age of 60. That was a real big eye opener for me. And when I started surrounding myself around other people who were 40, 50, and 60, who had been free from that kind of lifestyle since they were 20 years old, you know, entrepreneurs that actually had successful startups at the early ages, you start to wonder what they did differently. Because like we said earlier, like I just mentioned, we all go through the same kind of struggle. It just depends on where you set your sail to that's going to get you out at the end, and how long you're going to have to weather that storm. You know, some people are still in that because they haven't found that clue yet. But we'll go into a little bit later that success does leave clues, and that's one of the things that
we learned this weekend.
That our leaders definitely drop golden nuggets, and that's one thing that you want to be a part of. But back to the story, just it leads me to where I met her, which was at the age of about 25.
Which is convenient because that's when things started to change for him.
They did.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but
it was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome. And doing that shifted my whole beliefs in how I needed to take care of myself and my family. And I started seeing a life with her that I never really imagined for myself. It just got better. It got brighter. It got bigger. It just was so much more fulfilling to be a part of. And then that came with the books that I was reading and just the self-development process. And then I came across where I was going to be I was tired of working the jobs, you know, the two restaurant jobs. So I got to where it was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go full force with the poker.
For those who don't know, we live in Vegas, like
we
down the
live in
street
the
from
Mecca.
the Strip. So
we live in the Mecca, and so to be able to go and to play poker was a dream come true. But we had our good months, which were extremely well for us and our family, and they made me feel really good about what my choice was. But then we had our months where they were just disastrous, and they made me feel really terrible to be that kind of man that always wanted better for his family, but couldn't really provide that because of the downswings, the percentages. I knew I was a good player. I knew what I could do. I knew what I could accomplish. But then you still have what we call the variance in the game. And the variance was just too much for me to deal with, which is what a lot of the pros will tell you is what kills newbies in the business. And so what I decided to do was take advantage of something that came across my desk that is something that we're going to share with you at the end of this presentation. And that is, or at the end of this hangout, which is just that you have to keep an open mind to so many things. And when I came across this and I took it into my life, and then I left it for her to really look over, we ran with it. And then for the past year, we've been teammates. We've been teammates. I mean, we've always been partners with life and love, but now we're teammates. Now we get to work together every day. Now we get to wake up and we get to brainstorm about how we're going to make money together. We get to brainstorm about how we're going to impact people together. We get to brainstorm and talk and discuss ideas about how we're going to be able to change lives with other people who've been through or are going through the same thing that we are or have went through. And, you know, that's powerful stuff.
Yeah. And so, okay, I guess it's my turn. Well, as Brandon told you guys, as he introduced me earlier, my name is Sarah. I have a very different background than he does, and maybe more of you can relate a little bit more to my background, especially if you don't live in Vegas and you're not a high rolling poker player. But you know, I come from the South, and you know, I've always been taught, I've always been raised in the environment that family is incredibly important, because family is what we're taught is the foundation. It's the structure for every fabric, every part of society. It all starts with your family, because that's the nucleus that's going to hold everything together for you. And if you can have a strong family, then you can have a strong community, and that community can reach out, and you can have, you know, a strong city, a strong state, a strong nation. And, you know, that was a value that was instilled in me from a very early age. But one of the other values that was instilled was that, you know, as a Southern woman, yes, you can do whatever you want, because we're stubborn and we're sassy. We're going to do whatever we want anyway. But it was encouraged that if you wanted to take that step and have a family, that you recognize the importance of the position that a mother plays in building that foundation for a strong family. And so it was encouraged that once you're ready to take that step and become the matriarch of the, you know, of your house, that you stayed home with the kids and you spent as much time in those early years building that foundation and values into your kids. So that way, you know, you have that, as he said, that strong foundation to build your house on. However, that tends to lead to, obviously, making the sacrifice of a 2-income household to a 1-income household. And that was something that I was always very afraid of, was that, you know, having to deal with that kind of financial pressure. And growing up, I was immersed in in the system, right? So I was taught that the only way to succeed in life was to go to school, which I hated, which is funny because I'm actually very good at learning. I love learning. I just don't like the school environment. And that was, a big struggle for me because I was very resistant to it. So it was just, I'm a lot of skipping. There was a lot of skipping. I'll just admit it right now. Mima, I'm sorry. And, I was taught that you had to go to school, you had to complete high school, and then it was immediately go to college. If you had to go to a graduate college afterwards, you did that. You did whatever it took, however many years you had to spend in college, getting your degrees, picking a career, and spending the rest of your life until it's time to retire building what you think is your dream, but it's not really your dream. It's what society told you was your dream because they gave you a list of options to choose from and made you think that it was your choice. And that's where I was. And I kind of realized that without truly knowing that I realized it around high school. It was around junior, senior year. And I realized I don't want that. I don't want to spend the next 20, 30, 40 years of my life living in a box and having to listen to people who don't really, they don't really value me as a person. They value the skills that I'm bringing to the position, but they don't value me as a person. I'm just a work number. I'm just a workhorse. And that was my, kind of aha moment that I was going to, from that point on, be a rebel and fuck the system and, stick it to the man and not do what they said. And where did that land me? It landed me in, same as him, restaurant jobs. And so I spent, if I wasn't working in a restaurant job, I was working at preschools. I did a lot of work with teaching kids because I grew up in a very large family. And so I was always around kids. It just seemed very natural. So if I wasn't doing one, I was doing the other. And like him too, I was also doing 2 jobs at the same time. So I would, work with kids from 6:30 in the morning until 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and then go straight to the bars and work there until 2 in the morning and repeat this process every day for years. And
it's painful.
At the time I thought, hey, this is the life because I'm making money, right? No, no, because I had no time to do what I wanted, because any time that I did have, I was exhausted. I didn't have any money. I had nothing to my name because of the fact that I was getting increments of money every day. It was very easy for me to spend it without realizing that I'm not saving a damn thing. And that's where I was for a majority of my life. Before I met him, I was 23, 24 years old, still living with my mother. I mean, I had bounced out of the house a few times growing up and, in my more rebellious years, but I always ended up back at home, not knowing what the heck I was going to do. I had no clue. And that's what happens when you want to escape the system, but you don't know how to do it. You stay in the system clueless, but frustrated because you just don't know what to do next. And that's where I was. I met him. And like he said, when he was playing poker and we had our good months, it was really good. We did what we wanted when we wanted. Our schedules were free to do as we pleased.
It was nice.
It was really nice. And then we had Savannah. And then I don't know, we don't really believe in coincidences, but conveniently around the time we had Savannah was when we started having a lot of our down months. And as Brandon's fiance, I can't even begin to describe how painful it was to see him come home doing something that he loved so much, empty-handed. And to see the look on his face because he had to tell me that not only did he not come home with money, but he actually lost us money.
It's true. It's painful.
Yeah. As a partner, as someone who's trying to support her partner, that's a painful thing to have to watch. And we realized there were many nights where we hit a low point. There were many nights where we were laying awake in bed, like maybe many of you are doing right now. And you're just asking, what are we doing? Are we going to make it? There was one point where, we were in tears with each other because I actually asked him, do I need to put Savannah in daycare so I can go get a job? And that was a promise that I swore I would never break to her. But, as a partner, you want to be able to financially contribute in any ways that you can. But if you've got children, you also don't want to sacrifice that time with them. And that was the struggle that we were at in our low point was, is this going to work? Are we going to make it? Am I going to have to go back on our promises?
And the big thing that we learned, I'm not going to speak for her, but the biggest thing that I learned was that it's still kind of getting clear, but the big difference between production and just being busy. We've been busy our whole life. And then you come across ways to get money, like how we were with poker. Like I would be able to, it wasn't really like on an automated system to where how if I wasn't playing, I'd still make money. But I got the taste of being able to be my own boss, which led me into really believing that what these people were telling me in other places that I've seen people attaining their own freedom, it can actually be done. It's true. It's not just some kind of hype that people are playing that only a few select few are chosen to, have fun with.
It's not like there's a lucky few who get secret access to some kind of magical secret to make these things happen. The only thing that differentiates those people from, a lot of the majority of people out there who are currently, being resistant to that type of lifestyle is simply the ability to keep an open mind when an opportunity to do something different comes across your desk. And and that's exactly what happened with us. Like he mentioned in his story, there was a moment where an opportunity came to us in our low point. This opportunity presented itself. And the funny thing about that is this opportunity had been presenting itself to us over the course of a 9-month period, but we were not resistant per se, but we were more confused because we didn't understand it, because our mind wasn't as open as we thought it was. And once we had that moment where
we understand that you don't have to understand how a clock works to know how to tell the time.
Exactly.
Once you understand that concept, everything just kind of opens up and you just start being more receptive to what the world and the universe is really trying to deliver to you. Exactly. And that's why it gets into our vision. Like our whole vision is to be able to, for those of you who do not know, is to be able to honestly help as many families as we can come back to their children. We get to spend our daughters right there in the bed right now, just sipping on cups and
in the background.
just enjoying life right now, watching her parents work from home. We get to provide you guys with what's going to come, which is going to be some enormous value, which is going to be able to just really help you guys understand why it is that we get so excited to get out to Orlando. Why it is that we make sure that we're dedicated to carving out weeks at a time a year, every 90 days, to reunite with our extended family. We love what we do, and we get to do it while our daughter is underneath our supervision, while no one else is teaching her things that you parents know that they come home saying things, doing things, and believing things that you wish that they wouldn't have been around. And
exactly.
I never really understood it as a child, but now as a parent, I do. And there's one thing that we are really passionate about, and that is being able to bring home as many families, as many parents as we can, as many grandparents as we can, as many people as we can back together to spend the time on this planet as they wish. That is our number one and ultimate goal. Our like more immediate vision, our more sooner visions, for those of you who are like, well, wow, I don't have time for all that.
Yeah, or maybe you're thinking, you're like, well, I don't have kids, so I guess this isn't for me. And yes, our main focus is bringing families back together, but you know what? Realistically, we spend our days helping everybody and anybody. If you're sitting here watching us right now and you're just thinking to yourself, gosh, I don't have that, but you know what? I do know that I want something different. I do know that I'm ready to make a change. I just have no idea where to start or where to begin. We're welcome to you too.
By the end of this whole hangout, by the time we get done talking to each other, you're going to feel a lot more comfortable about understanding why it is that things can get done in a way that maybe you never understood could be done.
Yeah.
Maybe you just never understood that, I don't know if you ever heard or read about, I'm going to shoot you guys a reference right now, a nice resource. And it's called The 4-Hour Workweek. If you've never heard about by Tim Ferriss, it is an amazing book, and it will blow your mind, the things that he was able to accomplish just by realization, by being able to go through an experience, have insight, and then turn that into an experience. I mean, he's been able to change lives just with a certain series of books and a way to live life. And certain techniques that he's implemented are our leaders, and what we will teach you once you go ahead and you lock arms with us and we get to know each other a little bit better. You're going to understand that we're not just making these things up. We don't just wake up in the morning and go, we're going to think of a new strategy. What we do is we go and we get with a group of people like how we do in Orlando, who have already proved their success, who've already made it to where we want to go. Mm-hmm. And we're just sitting behind them and really gaining everything that they are leaving. Yeah. They're giving us everything that they got. And they're doing it in a way that's going to get us to understand it, motivate us in a way that's want to get us to apply it. And then we get to see and reap the rewards. Yep. It's amazing to be a part of. And that's our vision. Immediate vision is to be able to really attain a group of freedom seekers in the next 90 days that we can meet up with in Myrtle Beach.
Yep, we got our next event coming up. This is something you might want to write down just in case you're taking notes. Is that our next event, Revolution, is going to be happening in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, January 23rd through the 26th. Brandon and I are going to be there, and our goal for the next 90 days is to lock arms with as many freedom seekers as we possibly can during this next 90-day sprint, so that we can connect, we can all join together in Myrtle Beach, we can connect forces, we can share our visions, we can, share tips and techniques that have been working for us, what could help the team. Because that's here's another, earlier Brandon mentioned that success leaves clues. Here's another clue for you. Just a second ago, he was talking about how we follow leaders who've already implemented successful strategies, and we pick up the clues they leave us. Here's a success clue, is that in order to be a really good leader, you've got to first be a really good follower. We're being really good followers right now because of the fact that we've chosen to drop our ego and pay attention to what successful people are doing, implementing, and succeeding at. And we're passing that along to our team, in turn, becoming better leaders every day. So our ability to best serve you and to help you obtain your freedom lifestyle that you want for yourself, your friends, and your family, we're helping you do that by admitting that we are really good followers, and we'll be that for you so we can be the best leaders for you.
That's right.
Successfully write that down.
It's amazing. And really what we want to do by getting to Myrtle Beach is, once we get there and through that 90-day hump, that's going to be able to get us that momentum that we need. Really, a lot of us who are new to this industry, we don't have a team of folks who we can run with. That's why we're really holding this hangout publicly. That's the one reason why we turned it from having a private team hangout to a public hangout, was specifically for the fact that we really want to get in front of as many people as we can about this, because not a lot of people understand how beneficial it is to really get to these events. The people that you meet, the relationships that you gain, and the knowledge that you get it blows your mind. And it really starts to get us the momentum that we need to see the results that we all desire. And if we can all get there together, and we can all talk to each other in a way that we could do in a more personal way than we can, online or anything like that, that builds this trust that no one else is going to have in the industry. That's going to get you to understand that I'm here for you and your success. And you're going to believe that 100% when we could look face to face and talk about how important your dream is to me and our success.
Yeah, because if you think about it, if you were to go to your trusted circle of friends right now, people for a fact that you can walk out your door, you can meet at, like a coffee shop, and for a fact that y'all are going to be there to support each other and to be there to provide encouragement and to truly experience that sense of gratification when you've got that circle, that team in your life that's there to help build you up. If you get a really good feeling just from, say, 5 or 6 people that you can depend on, who for a fact are going to support you no matter what, just imagine what happens when you connect with thousands of people who you may have never met before other than on a Skype or a Google Hangout like this. And I think we just froze. Oh, there we go. But just imagine the power that comes from meeting with thousands of people who truly, genuinely, with every fiber of their being, really do support you in every single way, who really are there to encourage you, to motivate you, to hold you accountable when maybe you're slipping a little bit and you need that extra boost, and people who are there to support your vision and what you want to do. Imagine the feeling and the power and the momentum you're going to get when you've got thousands of people standing behind you. That's exactly why it's so important you get to these events, because that's the biggest thing you experience, is thousands upon thousands of people standing behind you, patting you on the back and telling you, I support you, I believe in you, and I'm going to help you reach your dream, because what's best for you is best for the team. What's best for the team is best for everybody. That's right. That's why you need to get to events. That's not something you're going to get on a live stream. You only get that when you make the effort to meet your team at events.
It's huge. It's huge. And you can tell by the tone in her voice that she's serious, folks. It just gets like that. It brings the best out of people.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they released this in Orlando, which is, now we're getting to the meat and potatoes. Now we're getting to the things that everybody was waiting for, which is why we really are excited about what went down in Orlando. Now, this new platform that got released to us is something that really took our business, and the old platform took our business to a new level. But this new one that's about to be released, woo! You can't even touch on it. It is something that is going to be able to it just makes it so much easier to be able to do. There's so many excuses about why people can't blog. There's so many excuses about why people can't share their story. There's so many excuses about why people can't do these certain things. And she'll get into these 8 fears in a second.
Really why people can't do an online business, period.
Right. And this just breaks it down. It shatters everything.
Yeah. You have no excuses with this new platform. And, you know, we did a video, I think it was a few days ago, I think. I don't know. My brain's kind of blurry. I got baby brain. But anyway, we did a video where we talked about how, you know, if you've ever poked around what we do, you've taken a look at our platform currently, and you were thinking that, yeah, you know, it's cool, but I don't really see how it's for me. Or maybe it's cool, but I just don't get it. Or, you know what? I don't really like it. It's not my cup of tea. And you sat on the fence from making that, you know, from making that decision to take part in a new opportunity that can help you free yourself, right? Well, over the last year, this is where we're going to have our candid moment.
Yeah.
We learned a lot of mistakes over the course of this last year. When we switched to our current platform right now, yeah, it was really cool. We thought it was awesome. But when we crunched the numbers, we saw that it wasn't so awesome, because what happened was, in our effort to make things more user-friendly, we kind of lost focus from our original message. We lost focus from our original goal. We lost focus from a lot of important pillars that built this successful opportunity that was able to free a lot of people. And one of the best things about the leadership that we are connected with is the fact that they recognize this, and they were willing to admit, you know what, guys, we messed up. Back. Exactly. They decided to shift. Get this, guys. They decided that this multi-million-dollar investment they made with this current platform that we're on right now, they decided to say, to heck with that multi-million dollars. We're going to shift it into a brand new one, because we're going to take all the mistakes that we've recognized within our numbers that were actually keeping people from experiencing the results they were looking for in their online business. They decided to say, to heck with it. We're going to make things what's best for our community, what's best for our teams, what's best for the people, the customers who are looking for a way out. We're going to do what's best for them, even if that means we're going to have to, you know, swallow a few $1 million.
Put a kibosh on it.
Exactly. And so what they did was, over in Orlando, they released a sneak preview of this brand new platform that he was just talking about. And
which our team members who took advantage of this whole thing before we did, they're actually going to help get access to this when the beta version gets released. So those of you who acted, good job.
Good job, guys.
Those of you who didn't, I'm sorry, it's gonna have to wait until it gets released, probably sometime after Thanksgiving, I think, or maybe the first of the year.
Yeah, we're still waiting. Yeah, around Thanksgiving, we're going to, because see, they actually redid 2 specific things. This is really important, guys. Not only did they redo their platform, but they redid their entire mobile application, because we have a mobile application to help you run your business on the go. As you know, because of the fact that it was connected to our current platform, and our current platform was faulty a little bit, so was the application on your mobile phone. So what they decided to do was invest in reinventing both of them. So you're going to get access to the new mobile application at Thanksgiving.
It's going to be amazing. And inside that application is a new kind of thing that we're going to get into when you actually take advantage of this opportunity and you say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and start blogging. I'm going to go ahead and purchase the blog right now. I'm going to get on board. I like the passion. We're going to go ahead and make it happen. There's a new way to get you guys going. It's a 21-day blogging challenge. And we're not going to get into major detail about that, because that's going to be something for our team members to kind of go over. We're going to have a hangout specifically to just kind of go over the back office, the new way to do things and stuff like that. And to really maximize the efficiency of this new system, or the new upgraded system, I should say. But this 21-day blogging challenge is something that you could throw your grandmother into. It's something that literally you could just say, hey, grandma, look, you want to maybe leverage your retirement a little bit. And they'll understand what you're saying. They'll understand that. And you'll say, you know what, I got the perfect thing for you. And then you'll be able to show them how they can start writing about memories from their childhood, and how those memories from their childhood could actually produce an income stream that could offset any kind of expenses that they're not really comfortable with now that they're only receiving, say, $2,000 to $3,000 a month because they're retired. And that could actually save some people's lives. That could actually get them to be eating healthier, getting to pay off hospital bills, doing things that you never really thought that you'd be able to contribute with. Now you're doing that just by sharing information.
Yeah, just by telling your grandma, hey, get online and for 21 days, share your stories. That's what the 21 blogging challenge, 21 day blogging challenge is all about. And the reason that they created the 21 day blogging challenge is to kind of cancel out these common 8 secret fears that a lot of people have when they're presented with this opportunity. Now, forgive me, guys, if I'm looking down and up and down and up. It's because I wrote these down. I wanted to make sure that I did not. I have a terrible memory, so I'm sorry. But, you know, one of the first 8 secret fears that we hear all the time when we present people with this opportunity is, how much will it cost? Right? Because you hear the word blogging and anyone who pokes around online thinks, okay, well, I got to pay for the blog. I got to pay for my domain. I got to pay for the hosting. I got to pay for the media. I got to pay for, maintenance. Maintenance. I got to pay for logos and design and upkeep and writers and all kinds of stuff. And it gets really overwhelming. That's a big fear. With this new platform, with this new challenge, totally obliterates this. Another one is writer's block, right? I can't tell you how many times people have said, and myself, especially when
I've suffered it too.
And us from when we first got started, was I have no idea what the heck I'm going to write about today. Like literally no idea. And you kind of get in this like little brain freeze because you're trying to think so hard about what the heck you're going to talk about today. This 21 day blog challenge, the way that we've structured our new platform, again, completely obliterates it, because within the 21 day blog challenge, what we do is we help get you in the groove basically of how to construct your blog posts. And if you can answer a question, a very simple question, if you can come up with an image and paste the title and then push publish, guess what? Our platform writes the blog for you based off how you answered the question.
And it actually, for those of you who are actually tech savvy it actually optimizes it for you too.
Yes, for those of you who know anything about search engine optimization.
So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
We have constructed it within our new platform to optimize your posts for you. Title, text, H2 headers, you name it, it gets optimized. Oh my gosh.
That's a little too much for some of you guys out there. We're sorry to go a little overboard right there.
Don't worry. We have trainings on all this that you can get access to once you join our team. I actually just did, shortly before our Orlando visit, I did a short 45-minute training on very simple 7 steps on how to SEO your content. So if you want a very easy to understand brush up, you'll get access to that once you join our team. But a third fear is I don't want to share my life or my expertise.
It gets scary. It does.
Because you're putting yourself in a very vulnerable position. But most importantly, where I notice that this fear comes from is people not wanting to share their stories or their expertise because they don't want to seem irrelevant anymore. Because if I share my story, if I share everything I know, then people aren't going to need me anymore. But this is something I want you guys to understand. This is what we learned over the weekend, is that people don't follow you. They're not looking for they're not really looking for how to be told exactly what to do per se. They're just looking for someone to guide them along the way. So you don't have to share your expertise or story in a step-by-step how-to, every intricate detail. You just have to present it in a way that shows your readers that you're going to guide them on their journey with you.
And your story is really your story.
You get to craft it however you want.
You leave out what you want to leave out, and you get to put in what you want to put in, and you get to say it with an emotion that's going to be able to explain it and express it in a way that's going to make you satisfactory. It's satisfied, not anybody else. It's not anybody else's. The only people that it's going to resonate with are the right people anyway.
Exactly.
One thing a mentor of mine told is that you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You can never say the wrong thing to the right person.
Let that sink in, guys.
Just make sure to get more comfortable with what's going on underneath and be able to express it, because there's people out there that it could really help. A lot of the folks out there that have this fear don't really believe that their power really lies from within. It can really change lives.
Yeah, and we'll actually touch base on that in a second. Our fourth secret fear that our new platform just completely obliterates is I don't have time to blog. Now, I'll admit, our current platform right now, not to mention I'm a tad bit of a perfectionist, and this is something that I'm working on, I promise, is that, sometimes when you get caught up in your writer's block, or you get caught up in trying to make it perfect and make it seem, like you're this big professional person, is it ends up taking you a long time. I will admit there's been days where it took me like 4 hours to do one post because you know, I'm tweaking my images, right? They're just so. I'm creating the perfect color coordination to make our call to action stand out. I'm, you know, trying to craft my sentences so they're easy to read. There's no grammar errors. There's no spelling errors. I mean, it could go on. And a lot of people suffer from not having time to blog because they get so caught up in this. Our new platform, and especially our new 21-day blog challenge, again, completely destroys that for you. Because again, if you can answer a question, come up with a title, post an image, click publish, 10 minutes in, your blog post for the day is done.
Which makes it so much easier because we actually, statistically, from what we found out, a lot of people who blog and have fun blogging, they actually, within the first hour, actually they have 90% of their content and blog already done.
Yeah, that's
it. The 10% left that they need to finish and complete it to make themselves satisfied to actually, before they click the publish button, actually takes somewhere between an hour to 3 hours. So you're looking at a 4-hour blog post that got really done in 1 hour, but yet it took 3 hours to make it pretty enough for your ego to press publish. So understand that this kind of solves a lot of that, well, you know what, does this font attract the right person? Or does this header, is it bright enough? Or does it capture it, you know?
Is it big enough? Is it sassy enough? Is it creative enough? Is it going to catch people's attention? If I tweak the font size to make it this big instead of this big, will that get more viewers? I mean, it gets really overwhelming. And we with this new platform, we help completely remove that obstacle from your journey. And then the next one is, and this is a big one, guys, is the fact that many people fear that no one's going to read their blog, that no one's going to get there because no one either knows it exists because maybe you're not marketing it correctly, which we'll talk about in future Hangouts. Maybe it's because of the fact that
it's just
while you have a blog and you love writing, you love sharing your story, you love sharing your knowledge, maybe you're not telling people that you have one because you're afraid of criticism or you're afraid of judgment or afraid of failure, right? Because what if you do put it out there and for the first few days, no one sees it? Well, we help teach you that, you know, it may take you a couple of days. It may take you a couple of weeks.
Or a couple of months.
Yeah,
it depends
viewers.
On your strategy.
It depends on your strategy, which will help teach you. It depends on who you're marketing to and if you're marketing it to that, you know, to that crowd correctly. There's a lot of factors that most people don't take into consideration when it comes to putting their blog out there. And as a result, it seems as though no one wants to read their blog, but really it's just because you're putting it in the incorrect audience. And we're going to teach you with this new platform and our training how you can correct that course.
Yeah, and anything else, and a lot of people, if they've tried or they've been a part of what we've, like anybody on our team who's watching this right now, knows that we've been through some kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like a slap on the hand from Facebook with a lot of our links that we put up.
Yeah, blacklisting.
Thank you, blacklisting with our domains that we've put up and stuff like that. With this new platform, actually, it's going to be able to X-nay on all that. It's not going to be linked to anything else. It's going to be your personal domain. That's going to be able to just be, it's not going to be looked at by anything else from Facebook.
Yeah, so there's tons of benefits that come with our new platform, which you'll get access to whenever you make the decision to lock arms with us and get access to our new blog platform. You know, you'll get the training necessary and it'll touch base on what he's talking about. But let's just say, what did our leader say? He made sure to mention to us that it would take Facebook how many people? Like an entire country of people in India to be constantly attempting to code out where they could blacklist our new blog platform. Let's just say it's going to be impossible because of what they've done for you.
Cool.
So you do not have to worry about being slapped around on Facebook and not able to promote your own dang blog link because Facebook doesn't like it. We've eradicated that issue for you.
And that's the leaders that she's talking about that we are able to be a part of is exactly why we wanted to really create this hangout right now for you guys, was to share with you our next really is the leaders and the strategies that we get to have when you join the events. And
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I still have 3 more.
You got 3 more?
Yeah, I'm sorry. We jumped the gun a little bit. I'll just lay them off real quick. Our last 3 secret fears that our platform completely obliterates and removes obstacles out of your path is that, you know, if you fear that that I don't have a story people will be interested in, don't worry about that. You do. And this platform is that vehicle to help you get your message out there. And then the 7th fear is that maybe you fear you don't have credibility, but guess what? On the internet, the way it works is the second that you publish something online, even if it's your first something, you've instantly created authority because you've done something that someone else hasn't done yet.
And
there's your credibility. And
Oh.
your eighth fear that many people
Oh.
have come to us and expressed is that, you know, they fear if they're even unique enough for people to be interested in following. Well, the reason that you would have that fear is if you're not sharing your story, if you're not, people can't follow you if they don't know that you're unique. And every single person is unique because you have a story that is all your own. You have a vision that's all your own. So you are unique. And we are providing you with the platform, with the vehicle to help you spread your uniqueness and connect with people who will connect with you back.
That's right.
Now we can jump to the next part. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I didn't think that those 8 were that long.
Sorry, I kind of babbled a little bit. My bad.
But yeah, the leaders and strategies that we get to hang out with when we go to these events, just like how we shared at the beginning of this, we can go into a little bit more detail now. These guys are amazing to be with. Some of the things that we learned this last week, we'll share with you right now. And one of the things that's most powerful right now that just blew my mind when I heard him say this on stage, which is one of the most recent millionaire ring earners in our company. And he shared that, it's gonna, I don't want to butcher this, but it says, our business is not our business. Or if I say it like how he said it, your business is not really your business. And your product is not really your product. People are your business and your product is change.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I heard that, it blew my mind because I'd always been trying to sell products. I'd always been trying to sell what, you know, the benefits or whatever it was.
Business.
Never really understanding that, you know what, that's really not our business. Our business really isn't our business. Our business is people. And that's why building these relationships at these events is so key in our success. We all work for the same company, so we're not trying to get anybody onto our team at that event. We're not trying to sell anybody there. That's what makes it so comfortable to go. There's nobody doing anything else but supporting each other.
Exactly. It's a completely safe environment.
And there's a reason why these people who are still making millions of dollars in a year in this business, who are making, you know, 10, at least 5 figures a month, they still attend these events every year, and they've attended them since they've been in the business.
Yeah, we even had, newsflash guys, we even had one of our leaders who was a speaker on stage the day before she came out to our event. She had, I'm bad at medical terms, but basically she had something wrong with her spine. She had to get a spinal tap. And she was due to speak the very next day. She grabbed, you know, she went to the doctor the day of her speech, got her, you know, her little spinal tap, whatever they had to do to shoot her up with to make her come. Yeah, there we go. She still showed up on stage to give her speech and to connect with people at this event because she's a true leader and she understands that she made a promise, she made a commitment that she was going to be there. She showed up and she knew the value and benefit that she was going to get.
And still spoke on stage. Still spoke on stage. Didn't just show up. She spoke on stage and gave awesome value.
It was epic.
And I mean, there's another reason sorry for looking down, but we didn't make slides for this one, unfortunately.
Yeah,
we love taking notes. We love the hand of paper. But another thing that we learned was that when you're good, you're in demand. And that was one thing that another leader of ours, that she's a sweet lady who's done magnificent things in this industry. And when she said that, it resonated something that maybe my grandmother would tell me. And it was that when you're good, you're in demand. When you're good, you're in demand. And you hear so many people in the world right now who are struggling with the out of jobs, who are like, you know, our employment rate's 1 in 15 or 1 in 8 or whatever the president feels like telling us this week. And you figure if that's the case, why not just become better at something instead of complaining about the way things are? And when she said that, that's exactly what I was thinking about, was the skills that you get when you are open-minded to learn and you grab a mentor out there and you latch on to a group of people who are going places that you want to go. Once you are open to that, it makes your success so much more attainable. It makes it clear for you to see, which gets you more motivated in the morning when you get up, which is the whole reason why we do what we do from home.
Exactly.
It just, see how all that blends together? It's amazing.
Yep.
And then what another one of our gentlemen is, your paycheck is equivalent to your thinking. And she loves this one.
I do. This one I absolutely loved, because the leader who was giving this little part of his presentation, let's keep in mind, guys, that this guy, and when I say kid, I mean kid, because he's only
22.
like 22 years old, and he will have his millionaire ring within the next few months. He has completely dominated this because he understands the concept that it is about team building and it's about your thinking. And something that he said was that fast money isn't necessarily bad money, and slow money isn't necessarily good money. You've got to recognize, who are you patterning your thinking after? Is it after people who tell you that in order to be successful and to be rich, you've got to make slow money? It's going to take you half your life to make it. Are you listening to people who say, here, get rich quick, get rich quick? It's like a lottery. All you got to do is get rich quick. are you listening to people who are going to be honest with you and tell you that, you know what, you can make really good money quickly, but you're still going to have to put in a little bit of time to make sure that you can secure that future for yourself? Because we're not going to sit here and tell you that what we do is going to get you rich overnight.
See, and that's the difference. Fast and easy are two different things. Fast and easy are completely different things. And you do not want to get caught into that easy money kind of thing. There's some people who can make money immediately in this business. And that's why it's an income disclaimer to say, you know, there's no income guarantee. But either way, it's about your mindset. It's about what you're doing and who you're going back to and how often you go back to those beliefs, which leads us to one of our last leaders and what she really implemented on us. And this is a lady who just gave birth. They were coming out of a Costa Rica, broke down $400 a month kind of thing, had no hope. And now they're inspiring people around the world.
Yeah, now they're $1 million earners. She just launched, her own online TV talk show to help inspire women, which all proceeds from that book went to children's charities. I mean, they're just amazing people. And one of the things they talked about was, how to awaken the Jedi within. And it's about going back to your beliefs and how, what you believe is important. This isn't something that you can just kind of blow off and say, oh, well, that's what my mom taught me, so, I guess that's what I believe, whatever. That's not going to work. And if that's where you're at right now, take a look around you, because that's probably exactly why you are where you are. A little harsh, I'm sorry, but it's true. We all have to come to that realization. You've got to ask yourself, what do you believe in?
It's important.
Is it yourself? Is it your friends? Is it your family? How do you view money? How do you view success? How do you view people in general?
And where did you learn? And where did you gain that belief from?
Exactly.
Did it just come from a book? Did it come from somebody that you just don't remember? Those are a lot of questions that a lot of people don't answer or ask themselves because they're afraid of what the answer might be. And it's really those self-realization, those analyzation questions, that you need to ask yourself that you can't really find out unless you're around a group of people who are asking themselves those same questions every single day.
Yeah.
It's really tough to go in and say, you know what, I'm going to be tough on myself when I don't see anybody else being tough on me. There's so many folks that surround themselves with people who just tickle their ear and say things that they want to hear, when in fact, that's not what this is about. It's about coming back to your beliefs. It's about coming back to what core strength do you stand with?
Yeah, because, when you make that decision that you're ready for a change, that you're ready to take that next step in your journey and to reclaim how you live your life, how you make your money, how you impact other people, let's just be honest. You're going to experience hard times. You're going to experience struggles. You're going to experience obstacles. You're going to have moments where maybe you question if you can really do this. And the importance of what you believe is going to come into factor every time you hit an obstacle, because when things get tough, when things are hard, when it looks like maybe you're not going to make it, you've got to go back to your beliefs. What do you believe? Go back to it. Let that be your source of strength.
It's got to be a strong belief.
Exactly. It has to be strong. It's got to be a foundation that you can build on
with your path to where you really want to go. Now, if you believe that money's evil, but you are on a path to success, that your success in your eyes is defined as a person with a lot of money, that belief's going to contradict your success, which is going to inhibit you from going in the direction that you want. You're actually going to go away from what you really are trying to get. You probably stand still and not get anything accomplished. So you've got to make sure that you are in line, that your beliefs are in line with your destination. Yep. And if not, you've got to shift one or the other, because you can't have both, unfortunately. You can't do it. It's just impossible. So that's what we've been able to understand and learn, is that if you are really open to changing your beliefs, you wake up and you know that, hey, look, I could be happier. I've seen people do it. Hey, look, I can make more money. I've seen people do it. Hey, look, I can do this because I've seen people do it. Mm-hmm. If somebody else in this world has done something, I'm a very competitive dude just by nature.
Extremely.
And I love the fact when I could do something before somebody else, but it gives me a sense of confidence to know that I could do something because I've seen somebody else do it. Exactly. I already know that it can be done. I just have to find a way for it to fit for me. And that's why our team environment here, our culture that we're building here, is specifically designed around everybody's success. It wants, in success, I hope that when I'm clear right now, it's when I say success, I base it off of you being able to do whatever you want with your time without violating the rights of anybody else.
Exactly. So if success to you is just making, a couple extra $100 a month simply so you can pay off one bill,
that's successful.
If that's a goal for you and you reach it, to us, that's you being successful, because that's what you want for yourself right now. We define success as you knowing what you want at this present time and being able to reach it because you've got the support behind you.
And that just is a big thing that we really want to stress here when you do make that decision to run with us and say, you know what, these guys are making money from home. They're chasing their dream. They're doing everything that they said that they would do a year ago. They've done, and they're continuing to do, and they're continuing to make promises that I know they're going to keep. And our promise to everybody out there that's watching this and that will continue to watch it or follow us is that we are and will do everything in our power to continue to grow as leaders of this team so that we will help you grow into the best person that you'll be able to become and help you make the money doing it so that you don't have to be stressed with the things that are left beside that really aren't important. You know, we don't get to bring our job with us. We don't get to bring our money with us. We don't get to bring anything with us. We get to bring really our family and who's there with us into eternity. You know, like that's how it is. Let's spend our time now on this earth while we have it, and let's do it in a way that's going to make us happy. And the only way that's going to be fulfilling in my eyes is going to be able to basically learn together, grow together, and share it with the world. So that's what we're trying to do. And when you actually get to a point to where it becomes a passion of yours, people just start to listen and they start to see a change within you. And when that change happens, there's really nothing bad that can happen after that. There's really no like, okay, well, you know what? I've become a better person, damn it. You know what I mean? Like there is nobody that's doing that.
Yeah, because, and I'm going to kind of paraphrase here because I don't really remember how I said it, but you know, something that we hear all the time is that once you start expanding your mind and your thinking, you'll find you can never go back to your old way. And that's so true. When you can, if you're here and you're able to expand your thinking and your beliefs and your values and the way that you see things happening in the world or within yourself, and you can get to here, I mean, would you really want to come back down? God, no. Yeah. The things that start happening for you when you allow yourself to expand are just crazy. People look at you differently because there's a different energy about you. They see that, you know what? Oh my gosh, they actually love what they do. What a crazy notion.
And they'll think you're full of it for a while until a couple years in when they actually see that you haven't left it yet, that it wasn't a fad. It wasn't something that you just thought about one time or something like that. And that's why we get so excited about everything we shared with you just today so far. I mean, we're not over yet. It's not done yet. But just the fact that the new platform is going to be able to take everything that we've done and make it easier for people. I mean, that's our goal is to be able to make it easier for everybody else. The results are going to be there if you put in the effort. But now you can get in twice as much effort with the same amount of time because of the way that the system was built. What? It's really amazing. And that brings me back to make sure to go read that book, The 4-Hour Workweek, because it's going to blow your mind about how much richer you can be with spending less amount of time working. Yeah. It's crazy.
Because the whole goal, something, I don't know if you guys have caught it yet, here's another Success Leaves Clues, is that it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. And we've all grown up being taught you've got to be the hard worker, you know, put in the elbow grease. And yeah, of course, when you first get started and you are building that initial momentum, yeah, of course you got to put in effort, as anything in life requires. But we're not going to sit here and tell you you've got to be a slave to your business. That's exactly opposite of what we're telling you. We're telling you if you put in initial elbow grease in the beginning, that you'll be able to work smarter and see results and be able to step outside, do what you want to do when you want to do it, and not have to worry about putting in 20 hours, 20 hours a day into making your business run because you stepped away for 4 of them.
And one of the things that we're going to lead into is our owner of our company and what he was able to share with us. But one thing that he's heard a lot of but never fell into was you don't know the value of hard work. Now, I heard this in the audio downstairs that I was listening to, and he said the same thing. He was like, you know what, obviously I don't. And I can imagine that the man who we're talking about, the owner of our company, he's heard that his whole life. You don't know the value of hard work. And I would like to say personally at the end of this, that in my life, that I don't either, because I don't want to know the value of hard work. I want to know the benefit of smart work. And this, my friend, will change your life when you actually implement this. There's no reason to have the sweat down your back and to have the rough hands. You don't need to have that. You don't need to do that. You can actually stay at home and do whatever it is that you want to do and be able to cash in on your passion and be able to do everything that you really believed about. And when you get to hear about this man, I keep wanting to say his name, but whenever you hear about this man speak, he changes the way that you think just on an instant. And when he said, well, I guess I can't even, what we're going to do.
We can't, we're trying not to give too much away.
Yeah. This man shared with us his business model. And inside of this business model is everything that he was able to do step by step on how he's able to create the success in every single business that he's been into. Now, the simplicity of this is going to blow your mind when you actually take action and take advantage of what we're about to share with you. When you join us on our next hangout, it's going to be specifically for team members only.
Yeah. So right now you should see somewhere either on your screen, should be like over there. I don't know where I'm really pointing.
It's floating.
But yeah, you're going to see a link or a button to where you can lock arms with us today. You can make that decision to click the button and reclaim your life for yourself by joining us. And once you make that step, that's when you'll be able to get access to this next hangout where we're going to go in detail about this business model. And
this business model, like we said, it comes straight from the horse's mouth. It comes straight from his mouth. This is something that he was so excited to share with us at basically only a select few of us. Really, it wasn't even the whole. It wasn't even the whole
it wasn't even
everybody. It wasn't a public thing to everybody who attended. It was only a specific few people who were able to hear this information. And we want to extend this to only our team. Like we said, we're going to be doing a lot of public hangouts like this to share great things like we did today. But for the nitty gritty things that are really going to be able to get you to that next level, we need to make sure that you're serious. Mm-hmm. We need to know that you're a part of us, and we need to know that we're a part of you and that we can make each other and help each other get to that next level. And so that's why what we're going to share with our team at this next hangout, you're not going to want to miss. Nope. You're going to want to take advantage, and you're going to want to click the link wherever it is, and you're going to want to get on our team ASAP, because what we're going to share with you in detail about this business model is something that you will look at and say, damn, I knew I was missing something, and now that's what it is.
Exactly, because a lot of people, earlier he mentioned, he made a quote reference to, you don't really have to know how a clock works in order to tell time. Well, let's just be honest, there's some people out there who still want to know how a dang clock works in order to feel like they know what they're doing. So to help those of you out there who maybe that, you fall into that category, our next hangout is going to be teaching you how the clock works.
That's right.
And so just think of it like this. If Donald Trump were to come up to you and say, you know what, I'm going to give you my exact business model that's helped turn me into a gazillionaire so that you can copy it, replicate it, and put it into your life, would you tell him no? If he said, all you've got to do is take action, click a button, and get started, would you really tell him no?
I wouldn't.
No, you'd say, okay, here's my credit card. Where do I sign up? You can fill it out for me. That's exactly what we're giving you here in our next hangout, guys. We're giving you the business model of how it all works and how it will work for you. Why? Because we've got the results to prove it.
And yeah, like we said, we don't have to describe who this man is or anything. Like he's the owner of our company. He's been able to take things to new levels and start from nothing. And that's exactly what we've done. As of last year, we obviously had nothing. We were broke. We were struggling. We were literally, I think, making about probably half or probably 25% of what we're making now. We were still making it work, of course, because people know how that is. But because of what we've been able to take advantage of, it's been able to change our life. And that's why we want to share this with you so much. And this is why we're so excited for you to be excited to have an opportunity like we did. And that is just to click that button, just like how we did a year ago. Make that decision to join Team Harmony and to know that we have your success in mind and that we will never, never leave you as long as you are in it for the long haul.
Exactly.
You gotta, yeah.
Yeah, we will never tell you to do something that we have not done ourselves. We will never, try to cross-recruit you. We'll never try to make you feel uncomfortable, and we'll never try to make you feel like this is not a safe environment for you. We're here for you.
And so
you just got to come join us first.
You have to. And so if you think about it, today we shared with you why you were here a little bit, or actually a lot of it, about what goes down in Orlando and why we get so excited. We were able to share with you our 90-day game plan and what we believe we can accomplish in the next 90 days with you once you decide to take advantage and join us in this journey, so that we could together get to the top and share this with everybody else and make that impact in the world that I hope that we're all looking for.
Yeah.
And we also were able to share a bunch of strategies from our top leaders that helped really everything that we do in life. Every time we hear these guys speak and share whatever it is that they live by, it really shifts a little bit about how we do things.
A little bit more each time.
Hopefully today, with us sharing that with you, it shifted just a little bit about how you do things. And then also we invited you to get to that next hangout. You know how to do that. Click the link, do all that good stuff. But we invited you because of that business model. We invited you because that next hangout with our owner's business model is going to be able to take whatever business you're in right now. Doesn't matter what industry you're in.
Yep.
It's going to be able to help you earn more faster.
Yep.
So I hope that you guys all got some great value from today. Me and Sarah, I had fun hanging out with you
Yeah,
guys.
it was awesome, guys. We hope you guys got a lot of value. We know that we gave a lot, so hopefully you were able to pick it up, because remember, guys, success leaves clues. We just gave you a bunch of clues. If you've got to rewind this and watch it a couple times to catch them again, make sure that you do what you got to do.
It's amazing. And we will we encourage you to just take care of the day,
Click that
kill
button.
it, and we will see you on the other side as soon as you make that decision. Take care. See you next week.